Mic test, test, test. So, hello everyone. Let us wait another minute for those who are connecting right now. In any case, YouTube, um, if you are noticing that something is not working or you are missing something, just drop a line as a comment. Mogul is there. We'll take a note of that, and we can handle it. Hi, Crispin. Welcome. Hi, Patriarch. Okay, it's 8:30. You know, we are German, so we start. Okay, then let's go. Let us just start with, as usual, like my daily analysis with the wealth ratio. We have a little bit more time today, so I would say estimate 1 hour. I will try to make a quick overview of what's happening in the market. We will skip option trading because we just have one trade there. We will check that, but that's nothing. So it will take just a few seconds. And afterwards, you can, of course, while I'm showing you the current data, just place your questions, and we will afterwards take a look to your questions and try to reply to anyone. Um, I will also talk a little bit about Tether, but not going to make a big yeah, talk about that. Just because many people are just asking um, about the current situation related to stablecoins, of course, after the UST debacle, and yeah, we will see. Okay, so let us start. Well, first of all, that's our 1 day resolution. That's not the 1 hour one. And as mentioned already, I mean, I have warned about these two um, tops of the weights ratio, and the daily one indicating that weights are or were sending a lot of bitcoins to the exchanges, and I've warned about that. It wasn't looking very good, and I was expecting such kind of, yeah, nuke, dump, something big at least. And I would say that happened. That happened, and as you see, the whole weight ratio cooled down afterwards. We are at 40. I wouldn't say that's a dump. It's just indicating we are, yeah, they are sending less bitcoins right now. Mm, but however, something at 30, for example, would be something where I would expect, like we had in the beginning of February, such kind of big pump, something I'm still missing. But I mean, at least that's something good that the weight ratio is declining, because I think we will have the opportunity to go up a little bit. So the wealth ratio 30 days moving average, as you can see, rised a lot in the last few 2 weeks, and now it seems it's cooling down, but it's not dumping. That's something where I would say we need to be careful with that. And the stablecoin reserves on exchanges was declining, and just in the recent days It just pumped up. I think here it makes more sense to take a view to the 1 hour resolution to see what's. Oh God. Uh, okay. Weights ratio 98. That's not good at all. Of course, we need to see what's happening related to the inflows. If big inflows are coming in. Do you know what? Let us check that. Okay, almost 4,000 Bitcoin just arrived within the last 1 hour. Hmm. Who is sending that? Can we see that? If that's... Oh, yes. Oh, the market makers. I was expecting such kind of move because the market makers are declining. They lifted up a little bit, but they are still... They want to push the price more down, it seems. I really don't know what is happening, what they have in mind. Well, let us check. Um, Weights ratio 1 hour, 98, indicating those 4,000 bitcoins are coming from whales, as we know, from big entities. And yeah, we dumped. That's not a big dump, and the 1 hour one, that's a big dump, and usually indicating we are going to lift up. So it doesn't look very accurate, even if we are going up. Let me check here. But as you see, I don't know. It doesn't really look very strong at the moment, and we need to be very careful because that kind could be also be a dead cat bounce. The 30 hours moving average related to the weights ratio, as mentioned in the last few days, it was really dumping, almost dumping here in that area, but then it lifted up, it declined a little bit. It seems it's going to lift up again, also indicating that the Bitcoin ratio related to weights is lifting up, and they are sending more. The stablecoin reserves on exchanges, that was a big surprise, and in my opinion was a nice indicator that money is coming back to the market. But to be honest, after I checked the chart again, when we see such kind of move, usually that's the exchange refilling their stablecoin reserves because, for example, they had a lot of withdrawal, and of course, if they are expecting, for example, more sales, they need to refill their reserves. And partly that was Binance. So Tether sent to Binance 14 wallet, that's a Binance wallet, 1 billion of Tether, and it seems they refilled their reserves. That's the only thing. But however, we still can see that it lifted up. So taking into account that the biggest part was Binance itself, that's not that bullish, but that could be an indicator that these guys could make a pump afterwards. I mean, this kind of formation looks very bullish in my opinion. Just because the price is declining doesn't mean that that's it. I mean, usually when I see such kind, and we have then, as you can see, that's wow, very accurate. If it's bouncing on the trend line, we could go up even more. But we received 4,000 Bitcoin just in the last hour. We need to be very, very careful if we are going too long now. As mentioned in my analysis in the last few days, I have give you some levels, and actually I would wait until we hit this kind at these levels to go long or to short or whatever. Um, Stablecoin supply, That's not an arrow. That's what happened in the last few days. Tether Treasury received a lot of billions of US dollars. I think it's 7 billions until now. 7 billions on USDT. I have detected just in the last few hours that more Tether is going back to Bitfinex, and usually Bitfinex send those to Tether then, Tether Treasury. And I also have detected almost 850 million US dollar in Tether outflow from Binance again, and that's happening almost every day since month. Yeah. So we still need to be very careful. However, we will talk about Tether and stablecoins in general, the current situation. We will take a look to USDC, we will take a look to BUSD, and we will take a look to USDT, to Tether. Well, let us go to the flows and flow activity. I didn't tweet about that because as you can see, we received today in the morning 2,500 Bitcoin. At the same time, we had some outflows. Then we had a big outflow, almost 29,000 Bitcoin. And yeah, we need to be careful with inflows, but also with outflows. If I detect such kind of inflows, the first thing what I do just to confirm that, just to see if some big entities, market makers, or little whales are linked to that, that would confirm me that's a valid inflow. Otherwise, we need to go to the blockchain and check if we can figure out what's actually the origin of these inflows, just to detect if that's valid or just a transaction between exchanges. So 29,000, that sounds big. It is big. The question is, who took these bitcoins out from the exchanges? I really don't know, but I mean, they sent a lot in the last few weeks, so it makes sense that they are out, taking some bitcoins from the exchanges. However, we received then 9,400 bitcoin today. And at the same time, we had 9,800 or 9,900 Bitcoin outflow. So it wasn't clear for me if that's linked together. If someone sent Bitcoins to take them out to fool people, whatever. So I didn't tweet about that because I was just unsure. And that's partly my responsible. Don't to tweet anything that could let you make wrong decisions. I try my best. I can't guarantee that's that I can do that every time. However, as mentioned in the last hour, we received 3,930 bitcoins, so that will push the price more down. At least we should now see a rising volume because the sell pressure should rise. And we need to see. No big stable coins are coming in today. Absolutely not. But we received a lot yesterday. So we can see here 220 million and here 300 million, here another, I would say 300 million. So we are talking about huge amounts, but at the same time, we can detect here some outflows already as well. 170 million, 270 million, 340 million, another 140 million, and so on and so forth. Sorry. But since then, very flat. The only thing that is showing some activity is the spot activity, the flow spot activity. And that's usually indicating that they are going to push the price more down. So let us go and talk about future trading and what's happening there. As usual, we will start with the funding rate. Today, that's here. Let me zoom in a little bit. That makes more sense. Okay. Well, I mean, the funding rate today just lifted up. It seems it declined a little bit. Now it lifted up again. I did some comments about how useful is the funding rate as indicator. It's just only showing you the demand. Okay, so the funding rate was lifting up, indicating they were demanding longs. Then it declined a bit, demanding more shorts than longs, and then lifting up a little bit, indicating they are demanding more longs than shorts. Something that's useful to know that, but no one knows the volume behind. I mean, if we just would have 5 persons in the market and 3 or 4 of them are demanding longs, the funding rate would show that. But it's not indicating us if the masses are buying longs right now or how much. Okay, that's something we should have in mind. At the same time, we can see that the open interest is declining, and that's maybe not that good. Declining with a positive funding rate, it seems we are liquidating more, or more people are closing their contracts, because that's what open interest is indicating you. That's a balance of the current still activated contracts on exchanges. And then we have the leverage ratio. Yeah, it lifted up, but it seems they tried to short with high leverage or with a rising leverage, and then they, well, get wrecked, I guess, and now the leverage ratio is declining. So what we can see here as well, stablecoin activity related to derivative exchanges today, not the same like the last few days. Let me check. We have here 300. Okay, I mean, it's just because that here we received 1.5 billion. That was, wow, huge. But, and then here 1.9 billion US dollar outflows. Okay, I guess that's the same guys. Smells like institutional, but wow. Today we received 440 millions, and we had some big outflows as well. 340 millions here, another 190 millions here. However, if we take a look here to the net flow, for me the net flow is useful because I don't want to count every little 1 hour inflow and outflow. And we can see it's much more positive than negative. So it's more green than red, indicating we have more incoming stablecoins to derivative exchanges than outflows. But of course, I mean, stablecoins, nobody knows exactly if they are going too long with that or short, right? Related to bitcoins, sometimes that makes more sense. In my opinion, it doesn't make sense to shorts with bitcoin as collateral, but I guess some of them are doing that, even if it doesn't really make big sense. We can see here 4,300 bitcoins arrived on derivative exchanges, and 1,900 bitcoin just left the exchanges, derivative exchanges. Also here indicating, today at least, also more green than red, indicating also that would match to the funding rate, in my opinion. They are expecting a bullish price action. Let us take a look here. I refresh the website. We can see here Binance still more longs than shorts. It's not the same ratio we had just a week ago. We had here 2.5 billion US dollars in longs And here, well, that maintains the same level. Didn't change big. It was 600 million, but as you can see. And that's here insane. That's really insane. I read a tweet about that it seems Bitfinex is selling spot and placing longs, so covering their sells with longs. That would explain maybe why their longs are that big. Shorts rise, but to be honest, wow, that's incredible. We will talk about Bitfinex because it's linked to Tether, and yeah, both are playing hand in hand. BitMEX also indicating more longs than shorts, even if their gap is tiny. And for me, it's usually the most important, um, yeah, ratio here for Bitfinex because I don't care about that here. It's more indicating they're still more bullish. Also for Ethereum, indicating they are expecting a bullish price action here too, and also here on Binance, and even, well, not on BitMEX. They are, I don't know why, more bearish it seems. Well, but let us take a look to the liquidation map for FTX, as I still think that FTX is one of the big architects here of the recent price actions. Oh, mate, your name, Jala, phew, Jalano Records. Thank you very much, mate. Oh, okay. FTX, what's going on with you? I mean, they liquidated a lot of longs, and many, I think, in fear, they closed their longs, also in lower levels. And shorts are coming in. High leverage shorts, it seems. So that could attract, of course, some exchanges, or, yeah, mainly exchanges, because nobody would have a benefit of it except the exchange, because as soon, for example, on Binance, if you got liquidated, what happened then? Many people don't ask such kind of question. I did. What happened then? What happens with my money I have spent for my future, for example? And it's very trivial. They send this money to their insurance fund. They have an insurance fund. Binance had last year a big problem in summer when we had this big crash because they have landings, they have burrows, they have different products where they have to, yeah, pay some yield, for example, and their insurance funds, because of many people just shorted the whole crash. I mean, in the middle of the way, it was obvious we will just dump more. So everyone started to short, to short, to short. And of course, Binance had to pay all these shorts because we didn't pump afterwards. It was shorting and shorting and shorting, and the price was dumping and dumping and dumping. They took profit, and of course, Binance had to pay all of them and to pay all other obligations as well. So their fund insurance was declining in a very critical zone. And many of you remember when we reached the 30K, exchanges have started to place big walls just to prevent that the price could go down even more. And it was a fascinating in that time because I was reading a lot about the mechanism of Binance, how that works. And yeah, so as I know, the last check I did, the insurance funds of Binance are very well filled at the moment. Nothing it would wonder me because they liquidated a lot of people just in the recent month. Yeah, so I think that these guys will partly be part of the insurance fund. I'm not sure. I mean, we don't know who is making these kinds of operations, right? We need to see if we can find any exchange walls at 29.9. So let us talk about 30K, because at 30K we have the gamma walls, and those are working like resistance at the moment. So let us talk about option trading, and that's where we are going to talk about the gamma walls. And we have, and that's huge, we still have a 30K, the put gamma wall, that's really a big one. And even here, the call gamma wall is rising. We have another one at 32, and we still have one at 40K. So just to make sure we have the same understanding, these walls, as soon as the price is above of 30K, it works like a support. If we are below 30K, it works as a resistance. We have another wall here, 25, indicating even if the price is going down to 25, this wall is going to work like a support at the moment. So 25, we have detected a lot of walls at 25. And usually if I see such kind of walls in different exchanges, that indicates me they are expecting something. But we will talk about that later on. The GAX maintains negative, minus 35,000 even. It lifted up a little bit, but still too negative. Nothing we should right now talk about because it's not really useful. As mentioned, and that's why I'm not going to talk about option strategies today, we have 25 lots for reverse put calendar. That's just peanuts. We can take a look. Oh, beer put spread. 1,000? What happened there? Oh. Oh. Well, I was talking about 25K, wasn't? Someone is expecting to see a price below 26K until May 20th. And he spent much more money for that trade because he sold his 22. Okay, that's a little bit more bullish because he's not expecting that the price, at least for this month, is going to dump below 22K. But however, he spent $130,000 because he is thinking the price will go below 26K. To be honest, something that could match very well. And here's nothing we can, no, that's not useful because that's refinanced by his trade before. As you can see, he sold just 30, his puts 30K. Why he did that? Ah, yeah, okay, makes sense. The gap. He had a gain of $13,000 and he just shifted back to 5 days to June 24th. So nothing useful. As mentioned before, that's nothing. The only one that would be really useful is that here because that's a big one. 500 lots, $185,000, and he spent $130,000 to make this trade. Yeah. Why I think that could make sense to go down below 26K? Because we still have a CME gap, an unfilled CME gap there between 24K and 26K. I don't care about gaps. I know a lot of different assets, they still have unfilled gaps and nobody cares about that. But the problem here, that's a very particular problem for the Bitcoin market at the moment, is that the future and in general the derivative market is growing and the spot market is declining. So futures are becoming more and more important in all this market. And for CME, as I would say, one of the biggest future markets related to Bitcoin, for them it could make sense really to go down, to push the price down and to fill this gap. That means if that's their plan, it's going 24K, it could be the bottom. It could be the bottom, something we should have in mind. Okay? We have other other different unfilled gaps even below of 24K, but the biggest one, and that have, if I'm not wrong, even a range of $2,000, that's huge. It would make sense just to push the price down because we are so close to the price zone, just to push the price down even to 24K and to fill this gap, and then to push up very aggressively up to I don't know what. So yeah, let us talk about what CBD is showing us, and in my opinion also here that's not bullish at all. It's absolutely not bullish at all. The market right now is just driven by stablecoin futures. As you can see, okay, the market is exactly doing that. Look there. It goes up, the price goes up. Did someone bought here? Nothing. Almost nothing. And what's happening here? It's declining. Usually they are selling. They are selling Bitcoin futures, indicating they are just shorting. And that's nothing that is very nice, to be honest. That's not bullish at all. So if we zoom in, we can have a better look to the whole thing. And that makes the whole thing much more clear. Okay, look what the price did. Look what future stablecoin futures did. Okay, a little bit supported by spot, but that's nothing. That's really nothing. I mean, let us take a look. That's the volume delta, and we are talking about 1,500 Bitcoin volume delta. That's nothing. That's also just peanuts. Just to make here a difference. Look how much, and that's only the volume delta. Minus 95,000 Bitcoin. Minus 95,000 Bitcoin. That's really a lot. That's really a lot. Joker, I'm reading your question about how is gap created. Well, thanks to Tether and Co., when CME closed Fridays and they use the weekends as an opportunity to pump up like crazy. For example, I don't know when that happens right now, from 24 to 27, for example, or 26. Then CME opens its session Monday and it starts at 26. So it closed at 24, but it opens at 26. Then you have a gap. Okay, that's what it means, and that's a psychological thing because many traders think when a gap is still unfilled, the price has to correct that. So the price has to go down. It's the same like many people, like me as well, is saying we have to go to 36K just because we did such kind of operation. Okay, we dumped crazy over the weekend, and the CME gap closed at, if I remember right, at 36, but it starts Monday something like at, I don't know, 32 or something, 33. So we still have this gap, and usually we should go up to close this gap, just to fill that gap. Okay? I hope that it's clear what it means. Because the CME is just a market that works from Monday to Friday. That's not like the crypto market works usually. It works 24/7. Okay? Well, then, as mentioned here, it still doesn't look good. The only thing, and I don't know how that works, it's Coinbase. Coinbase, they are buying, 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 buying. It's the only one. It's really the only one. I didn't see any other exchange that's buying like Coinbase is buying. I mean, well, Binance, but, well, yeah, Binance. Oh, Binance. I didn't notice that. That's big. 37. Whew, that's big. Okay, but someone big is pushing. And who is pushing here? Wait, that's Binance? Ah, wait, okay, that's my. I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I did this chart, I'm going to close it. That's the perp, that's futures. I was I was a little bit shocked right now. That's perp. Yeah, that makes sense, of course, because they are using stablecoin futures right now. Okay, but that's Binance. And Binance Spot, as you can see, it's pushing down there, selling and selling and selling and selling, and the only one that's buying and buying and buying and buying, it's Coinbase. Um, not that big, but it's indicating they are still bullish. Okay, so yeah, looks very interesting. So let us take a look. I have talked about options. We are talking about that here. Do we need? Yeah, let us just take a look about entities. Why not? I have to change the color. So we have here, in my opinion, three relevant entities. I have tagged and classified these guys as the market makers. Okay, it's very simple why. I did an analysis last year about that. Let me change the color, it makes more sense. Accumulation, distribution, accumulation, and since then, I call it CB, that's not Coinbase, that's crypto ban in China. Okay, then let us, yeah, why not? CBC, that sounds cool. Um, and since then, they are doing that kind of operations, indicating they don't have any big demand here, okay? Because they didn't such kind of operations just before. And now, as you can see, it's declining hard. In my opinion, and I hope I'm right, that should be the max, just to maintain a certain amount of bitcoins. If not, if we cross, if they are going to decline their balances even more, in my opinion, that would be the worst case, because these guys are indicating they are not interested in, yeah, in just accumulate Bitcoin anymore. They did their huge operation already, and they were very aggressive here, as you can see. What they did, that's Bitcoin, the Bitcoin price. If you compare that, that's, ladies and gentlemen, information advantage. These guys know everything. These guys know where's the top. These guys know where's the bottom. These guys know just everything. And that's how market makers work. That's how institutionals work. That's why I told you and I want you, if you see in these entities such a growing balance, usually they make this kind, okay? But if you see such big one and that's it, and then you see such kind of sideways run even here, yeah, buying, selling, look what the price did at the same time, exactly the same. So, and right now these guys, if we take a look, they they had last year, and that was at the bottom, that was just when people have started to accumulate. That's what the books describe like strong hands buy from weak hands. Weak hands, we are weak hands. Or at least we should be the weak hands. I'm trying to yeah, to make you strong hands instead, to buy when nobody wants to buy. And that's what these guys do. They have just one point in their favor. These guys are the market makers. These guys don't need to know when to buy because they know when to buy. Okay? They are generating fear and they feel the blood like a vampire and they start to buy then. And it seems they didn't start yet. So last year they had a balance of 5,070,000 and we still have 5,130,000. So we still have a gap of 60,000 Bitcoin. This theory, this calculation only works if these guys don't want to exit. If they want to exit, let us cry together. Okay? So then we have entities with 100 to 1,000 Bitcoins, as you can see. These guys are not necessarily the best in trade behavior. They have accumulated very late, and yeah, they are not that bad, but also not that good, to be honest. And then we have small whales, and these small whales are at the moment very active, in my opinion. Also, these guys did a very good job, but compared to the market makers, their trade behavior is not that good. However, they have started to buy and are selling right now. So, and I have here exactly the same entities. And CryptoQuant, by the way, thank you very much, CryptoQuant, for all the provided information here. We can track a little bit their trades and trade behavior. It's showing you the fund flow. The fund flow means it doesn't matter what they do. They can send to I don't know, to their colleagues 1,000 Bitcoin, it would appear here. They send to exchanges, it will appear here. They buy something, they will appear here. So everything that it's any flow activity related to these entities, it appears here. And when you can, if you take a look, for example, here and you see, oh, we received 3,900 Bitcoin, and then you go here and you see, we can see, oh, the market maker sent here 4,100, or at least a fund flow. We need to be careful with the wording now. They didn't send. We are detecting a fund flow of 4,000 Bitcoin related to the market makers, a fund flow of 3,340 Bitcoin related to entities with 100 Bitcoin and 1,000 Bitcoin, and almost 500 Bitcoin related to the small whales. That's the right wording. But if I see a big flow coming, a Bitcoin, and I see they have fund flow activity, it means to me they are doing something. And after they cooled down, I mean, if we disable this one, you can see what's happening, and every time it happened, you can see what happened then. If you think that's bullish, it's your decision. In my opinion, it's not. Okay? They didn't start to accumulate. It seems they are still in distribution mode. And when we see such kind of movement, in my opinion, they are preparing again something. Because a fund flow, it's not indicating they are selling. It's just indicating they are sending. So maybe sending just to an exchange and preparing the next dump. Okay, maybe they are expecting the price is going to lift up for $1,000, $2,000, or $3,000, and then they push the price down again. So that's why I say be very careful. Yes. Then let us talk about the exchange walls, and we are done for the analysis today. We will talk a little bit about stablecoins and what I think, what could happen next. Yeah, and that's it. So, Coinbase. Coinbase is limiting at 28. Coinbase reinforced at 26, reinforced at 25. We have at 24. Oh, they reinforced 22 and even 20. There a bit. Looks bearish. Much more orders waiting here. Oh, okay. I mean, that's not big, but if you accumulate all this, you have to suck all these orders, and that could take time. 31,500 or 31,400, it seems, and 22 again, 25, but 22. There, I was checking that many are really protecting the price below of 22K. I smell some fear there. 21, 23, 25, 26. Well, yeah, and something at 40K. It's also something that it's really crazy because I don't see any walls at 36, and we have a gap there. Well, that's spot Binance, by the way. Bitfinex spot 20. Well, yeah, 18. Okay. FTX. That's FTX perp futures 31,500, 23, 25,600. Oh, Jesus. Kraken 32,400, 25, as mentioned, 25, 25, 25, 25. 25. That was BitMEX. Binance futures. Okay. That's also interesting. Why they stopped with these walls here. But also interesting what's happening here. I mean, we can see they were pushing the price down, and exactly that's what happened. And it seems, in my opinion, right now they are trying to push the price up again, and that's working out. That's how it works. They are really good. They are really good, to be honest. Wow, Bitfinex. Bitfinex. What happened to you? You were so bullish. What happened to you? Look that. I mean, they were just limiting the way up as well, just with tiny orders, but I don't know why they do that. Kraken futures and FTX spot 25, 22, 20. Okay. Let us talk about the personal conclusions, maybe. Just a quick one. Nothing have changed since yesterday. Okay, we have our POC here. We need to go here up. Oh, sorry, that was sketchy. Okay, we need here. That's 31,400. If we can maintain above, if we would make, I don't know, such kind of retest, go up, retest, go up, that would be nice. But it seems, and even this kind of walls can be used for spoofing. When I see that many different exchanges are using the same, that's an indicator. So, in my opinion, we could even make exactly the same thing, double bottom, and then crazy go up. That's something I have mentioned last day, and I think that would make sense. Okay, from TA view, of course, I don't care about that, but that's something. I mean, why not? Look, that's very easy. That's for them. That's quick money. For you, hopefully as well. For me, not. They liquidated me with longs. Me, I was telling you all the time. It looks bearish. It looks bearish. It looks bearish. Inspo go with big volume and started to long. I deserve it. To be honest, I really deserve it. I mean, they sold all the way down. They have started. Look that candle here. They have started to quick bought, quick accumulation, distributed all the way up, started to sell again. They will sell again, accumulate. Maybe this time we will maintain a little bit here. Many of you will say, oh, that looks like we will see 20 next. Okay, we'll start to short and to short and to short, and then we go up. So we need to be very careful here. Okay. However, we are at 29,400 and at the moment. Weekends are always very special. For my Monday opening, we will see, because it's really tricky at the moment. It's not the best position I could imagine, because DXY is retesting its support. I'm very sure if it loses that support and it starts to nuke here, something I could expect, SPY will go up. The problem is, I'm not sure if Bitcoin is going to follow, because it didn't. It didn't in the last. I mean, SPY went up, Bitcoin just down, wasn't it? Let me see. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, yeah, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I mean, yeah, here it went up and Bitcoin didn't follow really, but it went up from here. However, you can see the difference. They received here more sell pressure. Look what SPX did and SPY. That was a huge pump, and I was expecting, oh, they will use the opportunity, but they didn't. They really didn't. So we need to be very careful next Monday, okay? Because if DXY bounced here and goes up, we know what will happen. That's a 20 years old resistance. I mean, that's really critical zone. If they have its breakout here, trust me, SPY and Bitcoin will nuke. I had a chat with George and he told me related to SPY, and to be honest, that was for me really the indicator to say I'm going too long. But options, yeah, you never know if they are going to push the price then immediately afterwards, or maybe it takes 1 week, and that was my failure. I had a big loss, but mea culpa. That was just I was wrong. Wrong strategy. That happens after sometimes. That's a lesson. However, a lot of SPY calls are coming into 420, 430, 440 for the next 2, 3, and 4 weeks, and they are closing a lot of puts below of the current price. So everything at 390, 395, indicating that institutionals and other big market actors are expecting that SPY is going to push up. And if Bitcoin maintains its relation with SPX and SPY, Bitcoin should rise up as well. So we need to see. Okay, that's it for today. I hope that was useful. I would now take a look to your questions and try to reply to any of them. So, Mughal. Mughal? Oh, no problem, mate. Okay, yeah, I see, for example, another question. Someone did just a comment. Sir, can you share this chart in Substack or for paid subs? I don't know what chart you are talking about. Are you talking, Nico? Yeah, Nico, are you talking about the entities? Just to let me show. Are you talking about this one here and this one? Because that's usually part of my daily analysis. Only if I detect something. I'm not going to highlight something that's not useful for us. Okay, so I will take a look if you are replying to my question now. Okay, Mughal, let me check. I mean, I can take a look to YouTube right now as well. Take a look if I can find any questions there. What's your... Oh, okay, I will show you something. First of all, Tether. I tweeted about that today, right? Many of you know I'm consultant in Europe and I work with big companies. I cannot tell any details, of course not, but I can tell you what I'm seeing here related to the funding APR for USD and USDT by Bitfinex looks, in my opinion, very desperate. Because to pay 35% per annum to get USD or 33% per annum for your USDT, just to take this USDT from the market, that's quite expensive and you have to pay that. You can do that if you have a big liquidity, but I think that's exactly the problem. Okay, so they can print USDT, they will pay out you USDT, but they want your USD. I would be very careful because Justin Sun is exactly doing the same, just making it a bit higher, almost 60%. And guys, I mean, that's not the same, of course. They want USD, and it makes more sense because I will show you that here, the last 3 months, what happened. That's Tether, okay? Uh, it started May 11th, and since then, let me see, it's indicating now 76 billion, and it was at 83 billion. 7 billion just in few days. But if we take a look to USDC, and you know I have mentioned and many analysts, USDC, I'm getting big redeems and even burnings, but it seems, I don't know what changed, May 11th, now people are dumping their Tether, it seems, and using USDC and even Binance USD, Paxos. I really don't know what that means. I mean, I can have some speculations and my own interpretations, but I would be very careful with Tether because if regulation is coming, and they mentioned and announced that stablecoin regulation is on the way. First of all, regulation frameworks, it's nicely for the clients, for the consumers, but for the company that has this regulation frameworks, that always mean they have to, that's going to rise their spendings. Okay, they need specialized people. They need to interpret, because that's another problem. Regulators just tell you something, but then you have to interpret exactly what it means for you and for your process, and then you have to change your processes. If it means, for example, you have to be 100% baked by USD, whoa, then I would like to know what Paulo is going to say to the regulators. I'm sorry, but we have 60% commercial papers. We can we can't do that now. And the regulator will say, okay, no problem. You have 6 months to accomplish my demand. Otherwise, it's going to be hard for you. That's exactly what they do with banks. I don't think that regulators will say, yeah, but that's crypto, that's innovators, that's cooler than the classic financial sector. We are going to make a soft landing there. I don't think so. And I remember that Coinbase had last year with regulators a hiding meeting. Nobody knows until today what they discussed there. Nobody knows that. Okay? So we will see. It's just pure speculation, but I wasn't a USDT holder. I'm not going to hold USDT just because I don't like the company. It's my personal opinion. It's my personal opinion. I don't touch Tether. I didn't, and I'm not going to do that. USDC, I don't know. Paxos, yes. They are transparent. They show they are baked one-to-one to USD, or even Paxos Gold, for example. It's really backed by 100% their gold. So I'm fine with that. But to be honest, that's my personal opinion. I don't like what I'm seeing related to Tether, and they are just bringing such kind of moves now, indicating they are going to give you 35% for your US dollars. Okay, and what happens if that's not enough liquidity? And what happens if more billions are arriving to Treasury and they have to pay out them? Are they going to take your US dollars to pay them out? And when you are coming back and you say, hey, do you know what, Bitfinex? I want my money back. What's going to happen then? I would think about. Because Bitfinex and Tether is iFinex. It's one company. Okay? Even if it should be completely separate, I don't really know what they can do and what not. So my personal opinion is Inspo is not going to touch any Tether. I did that in the past, of course, to buy some alts, but I'm not going to do that anymore. Not even to buy alts. I will use anything else, but I'm not going to use Tether. I'm done. But if you are asking me, are we going to crash? I don't know. Not yet. I wouldn't say. That's too early. We need to see how the market reacts. If we see that the market cap is declining, I mean, that means people are going, yeah, they want US dollar for their Tether, and Tether has to pay them out. If they are not liquid enough, I don't know. I just know no banks want to work with them. They just have one bank that's cooperating with them. Many just rejected the cooperation with them. Okay, they still have a pending investigation in New York. I mean, and their references with the authorities in the US in the past is not really the best one as well. So it's going to be tough for Tether in case if they need some money, some cash, because I don't think that any institutional will give them the money. And they would say, hey, do you know what? USDC do exactly the same you are doing. Paxos is doing exactly the same you are doing, but they are baked at least at Paxos. I don't know. USDC, I think it's better baked by US dollar than Tether, but I really don't know that. I just read about Paxos and it seems they are baked 1-to-1 with US dollar or gold. That's my statement to Tether. So make your own conclusions, research a little bit about that, but that's it. Okay, it's pure speculation. I don't have any evidences. To be honest, they have some attestations. They never provided an audit. That's something that any bank is doing. Okay, and I just heard an interview between Paulo and between another guy. I don't know now the name of this guy, but he asked him, why are you guys not providing an audit? And he said, yeah, well, because our market is unregulated. Are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me? I mean, just because the market is unregulated, okay, cool, then let us fuck all people, okay? Let us fool them, let us fraud them, let us make whatever we want because it's unregulated. It should be your goal to make some audit for you and be transparent to the people and say, hey, here, you know what? We have 20% assets in gold. We have 20% in, I don't know, in US dollar, and euros, and yuan, and rubles. Maybe that would be the best choice. And at the end, we have 40%, 50% commercial papers, but not from Evergrande or not from whatever, any shitty company in the corner of whatever what. That's Tesla, that's Apple, that's Microsoft, that's whatever you want. But then we can make our own conclusions. But just to say, oh, we just make attestations because the Attorney General in New York is forcing us. If we could, we wouldn't not even provide these attestations and audit. Nah, that's not necessary. We are in unregulated market. Wow, guys. Okay, thank you very much, but I'm not going to spend 1 cent in Tether anymore. Okay, and I didn't, or well, I did that in the past just because many exchanges like Binance, KuCoin, and so on and so forth just have USDT pairs for their alts. That's the only reason. And yeah, it's a big pain for us because if Tether goes down, it will bring a lot of problems to Binance, to KuCoin, and to other exchanges. But hey, do you know what? I prefer a crash, a reset, and then to begin again, but healthy. Not that shit that we are seeing every day with Luna, Terra, and whatever. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit pissed because of that. So, that's my statement. Yeah, I think that's really clear now. Okay, yeah, skip the tethers one, please. I think I replied to your question already. I mean, I'm not using Binance anymore because they as European I can't use their futures feature anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, I still have a wallet there, and if I need something, maybe I can buy. I don't know. Sometimes I buy A on ANKR, for example. I buy them with BUSD, for example. Okay, and not Tether. I'm really trying to prevent any transactions with Tether. Let me see. Yeah, sir, you the data. Sir, can you share the data of sentiment, Kingfisher, CryptoQuant, etc., Substack or email? Ah, you mean you want the URLs? Okay, you want. Okay, I got you, Nico. Yeah, yeah, we'll do that. Actually, if you check the former text version, you will see all links there. But yeah, I will make a list. I will make a list with all my sources and my setups and so on. Yeah. Bro, what a question. I don't know. I didn't check that yet. Uh, FTX USDT. Are you talking about USDT perp? So the BTC USDT perp, I guess, right? Because if that's, let us take a look. I don't know if that rises a lot. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that. Okay, open interest is one thing. It's just saying the open interest is just, wow, okay, you are talking about some people speculating on Tether. And back to my, yeah, Tether is like Tether. That's, I, to be honest, I need to check that before. Okay, let me see if I, no, give me Tether now. On FTX USD. Okay, it's not showing me the open interest right now. I don't know why. Maybe because it's not the perp. Let me show again. should be the perp. Yeah, it should be the perp. Oh no, 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 no. Okay, yeah, I got it. Now I got it. Okay. Huh. That's interesting. Well, I mean, we are talking here about the perp, so they shorted a lot. They shorted a lot and then they longed. But it seems, I mean, the open interest, it's now, yeah, let us see if we can find the funding rate here. Went up. Okay, well then, they have started to long here, expecting that the price is going to go up again. But that with the open interest, it's not really clear for me because taking into a look what they did here, I mean, when the volume delta is indicating such declining means just they are shorting, okay, and then they started to long. But the open interest didn't change since then. And it's not clear for me if that's related to longs, expecting as a preparation maybe. So from here, longing, 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 but usually they should close these contracts because they should take profit. That's a stable coin. Usually it should maintain its price. I can't tell you that, man, what happened here, but that's huge. Yeah, you are right. Someone planned something here. And I need to spend some yeah some time with that and research a little bit. But that's cool, Irako. Thank you for mentioning that because that's really interesting. Okay, next. Yeah, I know. Mm. A record-setting upward liquidation cascade on USDT-dominated shorts. Yeah, that's also autopoiesis. That's really a very interesting case. I didn't think about that, to be honest. I need to spend here some. I need to see what would happen in case of. I need to think about. I think it would have an impact to both, not only to the shorts, but it would be also very interesting what would happen in case of. Also with the money and with the pending, with the still active contracts, for example. A skim exit for the exchanges? Hell, yeah, that could be it. But give me maybe until next week. I don't think that Tether will disappear until then. But I take the question with me. I will make some research about Tether and in case of, okay, worst case, what would happen if something like what happened to Luna, for example, will happen here as well. What would happen then? Okay, I take that with me. Okay, next question. Coinbase? I mean, it depends. I mean, the problem of Coinbase, I was using Coinbase for a long time, and I just decided I was using Binance and Coinbase. Liquidity was perfect. Binance has a nice list of alts, and Coinbase, it's providing also. I was holding a relatively big bag of XRP of Ripple just before they delisted it, and it provided a cold wallet for free. So I was using Coinbase just because of that. But I was missing a lot of different new projects, alts, and so on Coinbase, and this gap was closed by Binance. But KuCoin is even better on that than Binance. So yeah, you are talking excluding FTX and Binance, I would say maybe Coinbase because it have a big liquidity. Nico again, but sir, USDT is backing by my Bitfinex and they have huge money. If USDT get depegged, they can pack it in few minutes. Maybe I'm wrong. But sir, USDT is backing my Bitfinex? I don't know. I mean, they have huge money. That depends how how much tether they have out there, right? Because if they have 20 billion, that's maybe a lot. But if they have 200 billion UST outside, and just 20% of this 200 billion just come back to treasury, this 20 billion you have, it's not enough to pay everything out, right? So be careful. Okay, Hassan, I read your question. Should we change USDT to BUSD? Bro, I'm not your financial advisor. I can't tell you what you should do or what you. I did my statement about that. If Inspo is preventing to have USDT, it's up to you if you want to make it or not. And I think that's it. Great. Perfect. Yeah, well, then I would say Monday, as usual, I would make my analysis again, my daily one, until Friday. I need to see maybe just because little, yeah, family issue, I need to have a trip Friday, so it's maybe possible that I have to postpone the Friday analysis. We will see. I will announce that. And even the next week Saturday stream, I'm not sure because I'm not going to be at home. I will think about how to handle it. I will try to make anyway. I will try to make this stream. Maybe I will do that stream also Friday, just to give you an overview about what the market is doing. And until then, I will research a little bit more about the impact to the market. And nice question. First of all, thanks to Irako for your input, and of course also for Autoposis. I will check that and come back to you. Okay. To all the Discord folks, I'm going to introduce at least one mod. Okay, this guy, I think we will have more, but at the moment we can confirm we have one moderator. He is going to check that we are not getting scammers and spammers and that everybody is nice to each other. And if you have some questions, of course you have me, you have Mughal, but at the same time you will have this guy, and I will introduce this guy on Discord to all of you. Okay? So thank you very much. Big love from Inspo to you all. Be very careful trading, really careful. If you trade futures, try really to use low leverage because you have to work hard for your money. Don't do that. Yeah, that's it. Okay? Stay safe. Big love. See you. Bye. Hola, buenos días, señor. Buenos días. Bueno, pues muy bien. Aquí ya está. Vamos, voy a cerrar, les voy a decir a todos que buenas noches y ya está.